He almost called me John. Good morning, everybody. So y'all have been sitting out there for a long time. I'm going to give you a chance to stretch in a minute. But first, let's give a big round of applause to all of our presenters today. Great job. Some very exciting things happening. I know that they all traveled out here to be here with us, and so we very much appreciate it. And to Josh, our worthy organizer. Thank you, Josh, for making this happen. So glad to see such a big crowd here today. Some people said, you know, we might have a smaller crowd, and I said, you don't know Acers. A little rain don't keep them away. And also, I know you're dying to see our baby out there, and so despite the fact that the rain is being very stubborn and sticking around, we will definitely give you a chance to walk out there. So before I get started, and I know I'm standing between you and lunch, everybody stand up and ride a roller coaster. Woo! Give yourself a chance to stretch. Yes. I know what it's like to be the last presenter before lunch. Say my first rodeo. Hands up, everybody. So I was telling Jeff in the back, I commiserated with him because we all are very proud of our bathrooms, but nobody ever wants to talk about them. When we put in the beautiful Camp Snoopy bathroom, I tried so hard to make it a soundbite, it just doesn't fly. So Jeff, you and I are gonna work together, we're gonna figure out a way to make it happen. But everybody loves a new bathroom, right? Yeah, and thank you to Davina, I think she's already gone, for teaching me that I can send all the comments and complaints to John. Watch out, JT, it's happening. So in case you haven't heard, there are a few things happening at Carowinds this year. I'm gonna run you through a couple of things and then show you some videos because you know you don't need to listen to me droning on all day. I'm gonna show you what's happening. Biggest year in park history, woohoo! Yeah! So for y'all who, well, you know what, I didn't even introduce myself, Lisa Stryker, you know, I can't assume you all know me. And I see a lot of familiar faces out there, but if I don't know you, please feel free to introduce yourself later today. I consider y'all, I'm new to the industry, just like Davina. I've only been with the park since last fall, and I consider y'all part of my Coaster Brain Trust. Thank you for those who gave me an assist yesterday on Twitter, so to help me figure out where the term JoJo roll originated, and it actually was from our brethren at Dorney Park. So I learned something new yesterday thanks to your help. So the biggest year in history, what's happening? Chicken is happening, and you're gonna get to sample some of that. We have a new 7-acre themed area called Blue Ridge Junction. This is so exciting. I've never been a part of a park before to watch this come to life, but it is incredible to see it go from concept to reality. And I'm telling you, it happens fast. One thing I saw in common on all the presentations was a lot of mud. There's a lot of mud. So the rain has not been our friend, but that doesn't slow us down. Things are happening. Every day I walk out there, there's something new. And it's very exciting to see this happen. We're so proud of this new area. Of course, what is anchoring Blue Ridge Junction? What's the highlight? Who knows? Copperhead Strike, and we're gonna talk a lot about that. But first, wait, there's more. Of course, you know, we've got our Blue Ridge Country Kitchen opening this year, and if anybody saw my blog post, you know that I was fortunate enough to be one of the food tasters. I was kind of like just lucky enough to walk by when Chef Chris was testing some of his new recipes, and I'm telling you, this food is absolutely amazing. You're gonna get to sample some of that today at lunch. Yes, it is absolutely wonderful. Aligning with the Blue Ridge Mountain theme of Blue Ridge Junction, it's very kind of down-home cooking. Rotisserie chicken, sausages, tenderloin, all your veggies, your roasted potatoes, and something new called Granny's Berry Crumble, which I will be tasting for the first time today, but I hear is absolutely delicious. So, and yes, this is part of the dining plan, so I know you're all wondering. Yeah, so it's gonna be some really good eating, some delicious victuals down at Blue Ridge Country Kitchen. And of course, you know, Copperhead Strike is the big star this year. But what's the other ride that we're going to be bringing back? Who knows? Yes?
The gliders!
The gliders! Woohoo! Yeah! So, who here has ridden the Woodstock gliders? Many, many people, yeah. Well, we're bringing them back as the mountain gliders. They'll be rethemed and beautiful. You'll see that when we go out there that the structure is already being put together, and it's got this pretty little pad that I used to call my helicopter landing pad before the secret was out. So I kind of miss being able to say that. But it is the mountain gliders pad, and so you'll get to experience some of that goodness this season as well. We also have a new hotel opening, on-site hotel, first time at Carowinds, on-site hotel opening. For those of you who have to drive, I know that's a big deal, but for those of you who don't, that might still sound pretty good, right? You just walk across the parking lot and get a nice little rest. So we've got a Spring Hill Suites by Marriott at Carowinds opening in the fall this year, and we're very excited about that. Unfortunately, because it's a little far away and the weather's not cooperating, we won't get to see that in person, but I do have a little bit of a taste in a video that I can show you. So and if you drive along 77, any of you probably saw it already coming in here. And the one thing I hadn't mentioned, but I know that some of you are curious about, is our new student dorm. That is going up gangbusters as well. I can see it from my office. So we're very excited to bring associates from near and far in to stay at our dorm and experience Carowinds as part of their education. I think that's just an amazing experience for a lot of folks, and I know we're all very excited to see what comes of that. It'll be very nice to have them on site and be able to host them the way that we want to host them throughout the season. All right, what y'all been waiting for? Let's talk about our new baby. Twice the boost, twice the bite, Copperhead Strike. I know probably y'all can recite the stats for me, but this is gonna be amazing. This is the Carolina's first double launch coaster, right? Y'all know that already, I know. You're all following all of Scott's, our digital marketing manager's great videos. The first train is on site. It is now sitting in the launch barn, getting ready to be tested. We're very excited about that. For those of you, no, not today. Not today, no, sorry. I don't want to make any promises. Thank you, Josh, you saved me, right? Who saw our Facebook video this week, or I probably was on everything. Yeah, so we were able to watch it roll through that famous JoJo roll. It was very exciting. As I mentioned, it's my first trip through this kind of a journey, and we were all standing out there with such pride. There she goes, her first run on the track. Very exciting. We're so happy to share that with you. Scott wasn't able to be here with us today, but you'll meet him on a video shortly. He just had a new baby, so he's home with his family this weekend, but hopefully y'all will get a chance to meet him sometime soon. So, as I said, you probably all know the stats, and we'll show you some videos that are much more exciting than me running through them. But 2 launches, and from what I understand from my coaster brain trust, one of the most exciting features of this, and you keep me honest here, is that second launch, the little hill that you'll go over after that second launch. Yes, I see a lot of nodding heads, so it'll be really fun to experience it for the first time and see exactly what that feels like, right? But it's 5 inversions, more inversions than any other launch coaster in the United States. So y'all can be here to experience it. And by the way, Josh, March 23rd is our opening day. So y'all, 6 days earlier than Josh told you, is our official opening day. For those of you who are season pass holders, we'll have season pass preview night the night before. Yeah, I see you pumping, yeah. All right, we're gonna see a lot of you here for season pass preview night, apparently. So you'll be some of the first to join Strike Squad. The way do you join Strike Squad? You ride Copperhead Strike, and then you become a member. Remember that hashtag. So this is a little bit closer look. I'm sure you're all pretty familiar with this illustration, but this is our beautiful baby in just the concept phase, and you'll see the inversions, that wonderful JoJo roll coming out. I'm so curious to see what that feels like. I've never experienced it myself yet. But you've got your first launch, and you're going immediately into a vertical loop, corkscrew, you got your second launch, another vertical loop, and the 82-foot inverted top hat at the end. That's the highest point of the ride. This thing, when you go out there, I think what will really strike you right away, like what I did, is that it is very close to the ground. And so, as Steve likes to say, and you're gonna hear from Steve shortly, it feels like you're really driving a race car. And so you are gunning it through that field on this race car. You're so low to the ground. Listen to me, I haven't even ridden it yet, but I'm telling you what it feels like. That's how many times I've watched the POV. It's so exciting to see, and it didn't even register with me until I started walking out into the construction area exactly what that means. This thing is tight and low to the ground and so twisted that it makes me excited just to look at it. I think you'll feel the same way when you go out there. Some more pictures of our baby. And you'll see one of the most exciting parts about this that I keep hearing from all of you too, so I know you're excited about it too, is we've got some amazing theming that goes with this. You know the backstory. For those of you who followed along in all of our teasers, we've got Granny Bird's farm, and that's where Copperhead Strike is being built. And you'll see lots of really fun structures out there. And if you look very carefully, you'll see some themed items that have already been added out near where the queue lines will be and along the track. So keep your eye out. There's some interesting stuff going in just recently, and there may be stuff out there that I haven't even seen yet. Something new every day. Oh, the end of my presentation. So that's the official part of the presentation. And as I mentioned, since we won't be able to go out and see the whole park today, I have a video that Scott put together. And some of you, if you've been to other ACE events, may have seen this already. But this will introduce you to Scott Gerbero, our digital marketing manager and video magician. I mean, if you've seen any of his stuff, it's so impressive. And show you around the park a little bit, and you might recognize some familiar faces. So Mike, if you'd run that first video. What? You're kidding, right? I gave you all the videos on a flash drive, Mike. Just kidding, just kidding. It's all good. Well, this is our introduction to Copperhead Strike. We'll watch that first.
Maybe you've heard of the legend of Granny Bird and her prize-winning jam. But I bet you haven't heard her secret. Those who have know the best thing to do is run! And don't stop.
So we're just going to take a brief pause while we load up the next video. But while we do that, what I can do is get started with any questions that you have, and then we'll bring up Steve Jackson if you have additional questions for him. What we're going to do is have Steve come up, kind of give you an overview of what's happening out at the construction site, and then you can ask him questions as well. That way we can minimize our time standing in the rain, that darn rain. So, questions? Yes? Oh, I won the bet! I won the bet! I knew that would be the first question! John, I'm $50 richer today. Rip Roaring Rapids is being retired. Yeah, it's being retired. Say goodbye to one of your favorites. And we haven't decided yet what we're going to do there. So it's just going to sit quietly this season.
No more.
What is it?
The rack ride.
Is that another question? We don't know what's going to happen there yet. We don't know what's going to happen there yet, and that's my final answer. Listen, this ain't my first rodeo. You can ask me 6 times, you'll get the same answer. Y'all who know me know that. Yes? Well, I'll let Steve maybe answer that, but you know, y'all know that the history of rides is cyclical, right? And you saw that we moved and changed the way that we designed the park to lead up to the wonderful Blue Ridge Junction, and that's how those things happen. So we need to make very carefully considered decisions, and in our long-range planning, we think strategically. And so this is one of the decisions that we made this year, and it will lead to something wonderful. We just don't know exactly what that is yet. Mike, how are we doing? Give me the flag. You ready? All right, here we go. We're gonna ride Copperhead Strike. There it is, there it is. Woo! I'm a little out of breath after that. And you'll see when we go out there, there's a lot more going on out there than just the coaster track. So that just makes it all that more exciting. You're going into the loading barn and then you're looping into the launch barn, and there's so much happening. I'm very excited for you to see all that. Are we good? All right, so this is an update that Scott Gerbrow put together for us, and this will give you kind of an overview of the park.
Hello and welcome to Carowinds. I'm Scott Gerbrow, the park's digital marketing manager, and it is my pleasure to give you a behind-the-scenes look at all the amazing we're getting ready to launch here in 2019. We capped the 2018 season with an incredible New Year's Eve celebration. Guests enjoyed live bands, dance parties, rides at some of their favorite attractions, and of course, fireworks at midnight. We're excited about the construction projects underway here at the Carolina State Line. A new dormitory will house students from across the region and around the world, allowing the park to develop programs such as internships for travel and tourism students. Blue Ridge Junction is a new immersive, richly themed area inspired by the majestic beauty and easygoing culture of the Blue Ridge Mountain region of the Carolinas. Designed to engage all 5 senses, the redesigned 7-acre area will feature the new Blue Ridge Country Kitchen restaurant in the former Wings restaurant location. A fan favorite attraction is returning with a new theme. Have you ever wanted to soar like a bird? The reimagined Mountain Gliders offers an experience that's mighty close. Blue Ridge Junction will be anchored by the park's 14th roller coaster, Copperhead Strike, the Carolina's first double-launch coaster. Jump into your getaway vehicle as you chase through a series of fast, tight, close-to-the-ground maneuvers, including 5 head-over-heel inversions. I'll take you inside the construction site a little later on. Wait, do you see that? I think it's a copperhead snake. Come on, let's follow it. Well, the snake led us to the new Spring Hill Suites by Marriott at Carowinds. This 5-floor, 130-room motel is expected to welcome its first guests later this year. It'll feature a pool, fitness center, outdoor seating area with a fire pit, suites, and a small bar, making it an oasis for your overnight visit. Its convenient location, adjacent to the park, will put guests close to the action, including Copperhead Strike. Chasing that snake sure has worked up my appetite. Let's go see if I can find Chef Chris and what he's cooking up.
Hey Chef Chris, we're here at the new Blue Ridge Country Kitchen restaurant. Tell us what's going on.
Well, we're standing in what's going to be the 2019 Blue Ridge Country Kitchen. So right now it doesn't look like much, looks like a big war zone has gone through in here. We're redoing a lot of the plumbing, we're doing a lot of the electrical work to bring in all the new equipment that we're going to be cooking some awesome new things for you guys in 2019. What we have is 2 large rotisseries coming in here that's going to be able to do an approximate number of about 320 chickens per hour is what we're going to be rolling through here. The menu item is going to be unbelievable. We got some new surprises we're going to be working on that's going to be coming off that rotisserie, not only but low country favorites. You know, down home, comfort food that you're going to love when you're coming through this area, especially in the summertime when we're adding another 90 seats to air conditioning. When you come out of the water park, you're going to be running into this area to cool down and have a wonderful dinner with your family. The restaurant being directly across from Copperhead Strike in Blue Ridge Junction, I decided to work on a sauce that's going to work with all the great, wonderful items that we're doing in this restaurant. We're doing a Copperhead Strike sauce, and it's going to be a sweet heat. So, but anyway, wait, where'd this guy come from? You're supposed to be on the other end.
Oh look, it's our Director of Construction and Maintenance, Steve Jackson. Steve, have you seen any copperhead snakes?
Copperhead snake? No, I haven't seen any copperhead snakes, but I got a copperhead strike ride right behind me here. It's a little cold for snakes right now, but this one's growing up and it's gonna be a big one. If you look around, you can see that all the steel track's up right now. It's all set in place. We've actually started grouting base plates, and there's some right here close to us you can look at. All the track is up, the side track's in, transfer track's in, side track, we call it different things. We've got trains, the lead car is due to arrive at the end of the month here in January. And once the lead car comes in, we'll actually put it on the track, roll it around and see how things match up and do some fine tuning on the alignments and whatnot. Right here, we are at the base of launch 2. This is the second launch in the coaster, and as in direction of travel, you can see all the big loops of the top hat behind me. So you come into the launch right here at about
35 miles an hour.
Accelerate up to
50 miles an hour.
Finish the ride out here. This is about midway through the track. So this is where you step on the accelerator and go again. To my left, it's going to be your right. We've got the station in the launch barn that's heavily under construction now. The launch barn is all dried in. We're actually starting the theming elements in there right now. The electricians are working very hard getting the wiring and the lights in place. The theming company actually arrived here on Monday, and they're going to start in earnest next week with the props. The props should arrive Monday or Tuesday. They'll start loading those into the launch barn. Launch barns, once you come out of the station, go through the JoJo road. You'll actually set up in the launch barn, sit there, we'll do a little pre-show for you, and then you'll actually launch from launch 1 and start your ride there. There's a nice theming package, nice storyline that goes along with this ride. It's pretty exciting.
Oh hey, there's our Director of Communications, Lisa Stryker.
Hey, Scott. Oh, I was just checking out the progress of the new mountain gliders that are coming back. I'm so excited that they're bringing the gliders back. One of the most popular family rides of the park. Obviously, you can see the frame is already out, and we've sent the cars and the rudders out to be completely reskinned to look and feel just like the theme, to fit the theme of the Blue Ridge Junction. So a lot of people don't know these mountain gliders have been around since the 1930s. They started out at Coney Island in Cincinnati, and we're bringing them back. They've been kept alive all these years. Old school gliders coming back. I think people are going to be really excited about that.
There's a snake in here.
What?
There's a snake in here.
Let's go check it out.
Scott, look, it looks like it's getting ready to strike. Yeah, wow.
So you can tell that was filmed a while ago. The skies were blue. Whew. All right. I am going to cede the podium to our friend Steve Jackson, Director of Construction and Maintenance. And he'll give you an overview of what's happening out at the construction zone, and if you have any questions for him as well. And just a couple of housekeeping items before I do that. Of course, we're getting ready to have lunch. I can see all the busy bees back there getting our lunch ready. Delicious Blue Ridge County Country Kitchen samples back there for you. Lots of good stuff. We do have a lot of hard hats lined up here, but we're not going to need them. We're going to stay. There are a lot of pavers out there already. That'll keep you out of the mud, and that also keeps you a little bit away from the construction zone. So Steve has agreed that if we stay in that area, we don't need hard hats. That makes it a little bit easier for everyone. So you don't need to grab a hard hat for the construction tour. And then I also, we teased you with all this excitement coming to the park. And so we wanted to make sure that you all have an opportunity to come and experience Copperhead Strike for yourselves. And so while Steve is up here, we will have some of my wonderful helpers coming around to deliver tickets to each of you. You'll each get a ticket for admission to Carowinds. We'd love to see you here. Hopefully when it's not raining. So without further ado, Steve Jackson.
Thank you very much. If you've been following us, we've been doing construction tours and whatnot, so I'm just going to kind of pick up from the last construction tour, give you a general update on where we are, progress on the ride, and then try to answer whatever questions you may have. We have one train on the track. Actually, we have two trains on the track right now. We have one train in the launch barn. We're actually started commissioning on that. So we're actually working with that to push the train forward, and we're actually starting to move it electrically. And all that is going very well. We put the second train on the track yesterday, and we're going to put the third train. The third train is here now. The last two trains showed up in the last 3 containers together, and it will go on the track probably sometime next week. We were going to try to do it, but with all the other work that's going out there, we have scaffolding in the way that we need to take down once they get the siding up on the barn. So we put one train on, we'll wait probably a week, and then we'll put the last train on. So right now we've got siding and roofing going on the buildings. We've got theming going on. We've got pavers going down. Landscaping has started. So we are in the last phases of construction here. We are hoping that we can get the train out of launch 1 next week, and it'll move over to launch 2, and it'll spend 3 days there. And once we're done commissioning launch 2, then we will start train operations. And that's when we will actually be able to shoot a train all the way around the track from station to station, just like it's supposed to go. So that's what the game plan, and that's what the goal is. So, any questions or anything anybody wants to know? Sure. There are no live snakes at all. I have a fear of snakes. I don't like snakes. I tolerate them, and they tolerate me, but there will be no live snakes planned for this adventure. Is there going to be on-ride audio? There is audio in the station, there's audio in the launch barn, but there's not actually on the train itself. The lights are a little bright. Okay, go ahead. I think we're going to have to wait and see on that one. You can make any inference you'd like, though. Uh, 52 inches. Yeah, the larger coasters around here are 54. This one's actually 52. It should make for a good family experience. There's not. There's some basic uplighting to the coaster, but that's one thing that's going to add to the thrill about this thing is when you're out there flying around at night, it's dark. It should be the same. We had it tuned in pretty good last time. We put a new control system on it. We can tune it up again, just like it was. One thing, the tubs the sails are a little bit lighter, so we'll have to tune it, but it should be the same experience, if not a little bit better. I'm really looking forward to riding that one too, by the way.
cannot. Copperhead Stripe be open for Winterfest. That is the plan, but it's going to be touch and go until we get done with our testing. And we'll have to work that out with Mock as far as what the actual temperature is that we can operate it at. Right now, it's similar to some of our other rides that would operate, but we never know until you're done with testing. If you look at a lot of the B&M coasters, they wouldn't run, but Afterburn does run. Its inaugural flight it was snowing. So we know it'll run in the cold weather. If you're an Afterburn, won't run below 42 degrees. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Yes, there is. Is there going to be a celebration for Afterburn's 20th anniversary? And the answer is yes, there will be.
Are the shade buildings in the queue still planned, or have those been scrapped?
No, we have 2 shade buildings in this queue. So there's some shade. There'll also be some misting fans out there to help with the comfort. And we tried to leave as many trees as we could. So we're trying to do all that we can to put shade in the queue. And who knows, there may be a few other things that show up to help with that. What's in the barn? A whole lot of stuff. I would show you the barn today, but we're in there we're testing, so I can't go into the barn. I can't let you guys in the barn today.
Okay, I think we have time for 2 more questions. Yes.
Yeah, are they going to be extra lifts, for extra large people to be able to ride, not red strike? Well, I know there's some extras, large people can't ride the ride, to be able to ride.
The question was, is there accommodations for large people to ride? I know that I fit. That question is yet to be determined. There again, we haven't put people on the ride. We haven't even put water dummies on it yet. So it's supposed to be able to accommodate the majority of people, but there again, if someone is large outside of that 10 or 15% on the large side, it's going to be like any other coaster.
And the second question is, since most of the parks are retiring Dinosaurs Alive, will this be the last year for Dinosaurs Alive here?
This is the last year for Dinosaurs Alive at Carowinds. So if you haven't experienced it, you have this year, 2019, to experience it, so come on out and experience it. Because it won't be here in 2020. Not today. No, it's too muddy out. The question was, will we be able to go in the station? We're going to have to stay on the pavers. We don't have enough hard hats for everybody. I don't need a lot of people in the mud over there. It's very messy. It's very slippery. There's still people working over there. We're right in the middle of train operations, so I have to keep the station clear. So we won't be going to the station, but you can kind of see the station from the midway. And if you've got questions about it, once we get over there, I'll try to answer them. I got one more in the back there. Go ahead. Currently, there are not Fun TVs in the queue line. You don't like Fun TV? No? Oh, I like Fun TV. Okay. All right. I got one right here.
Plants versus Zombies. Have you guys done a little TLC for that area lately?
Plants vs. Zombies. We actually have. It should be freshened up a little bit this year. All the guns should work again and look like they're supposed to. We have a lot of trouble with people trying to see if they can break the guns, and you know, it's an ongoing battle. I'm sure it happens at most parks and a lot of places like that.